obviously. Um, Sorry, that was my attempt at humor. We are currently going to talk about election fraud. So that's fun. Well, it's really not. It's not fun. But we're going to talk about it anyway. Um, so, according to independent research of election polls, the election polls, and I mentioned this before, indicate election fraud by far. Now, I I know I've mentioned it before, so what I want to do is actually show everyone the data. So give me just a second to pull it up and we'll do that. In the meantime, let's talk about some local news. Here in Utah, we had a giant earthquake yesterday. We're still getting aftershocks. Still getting aftershocks, which is crazy. My mom called me to tell me that she was driving in the middle of an aftershock and it kind of freaked her out. And yeah, so we're getting earthquakes in Utah now. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for Salt Lake City Temple, which is kind of like the temple, has, like all temples, has a giant, like 30 or 50-foot tall angel Moroni statue on it, and that holds the trumpet, symbolizing when the angels will blow a trumpet to signify the end of the world. And the trumpet fell off the statue, which is just crazy talk. But let's get to the topic at hand, which was election fraud. I'm gonna go ahead and transition my screen over now, and you guys can see what I'm seeing. Hopefully, hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. Give me just a second. I think we're having some sound issues. What's big? What is big? Oh, we are having some sound issues. Okay. Give me just a second, everybody. I'm gonna turn up the microphone a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now you can hear me, right? Which is good, because we're getting to the juicy stuff now. Alright. 3, 2. Let's move this a little bit. Oops. 1. Transition. Alright, so this is data from TDMS Research. They're an independent thing. So you can see here that according to the exit poll, Biden should have gotten about 17% of the vote. Come on. But he actually got 22%, which is a gain of 4.5%. I'm sorry, a difference of 4.5%. And a gain of 26.1% from. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Sanders lost 6.3% according to what the polls indicated, which is a total loss, relative loss of 11% of the, meaning his discrepancy. Sanders has a negative 10.8% discrepancy compared. They literally skimmed votes off Biden. And the UN considers any discrepancy, so that's greater than 2%, the election fraud. Look, it's 2 times greater than 3 times greater than 2%. Election fraud is what this is showing us. Is election fraud. Give me just a second here. We'll move on to the next image. That was Vermont. This is Texas. This is Texas. And you can see that Biden gained 1% overall from the exit poll, relatively speaking. Bloomberg gained 7.1. Warren gained 10%. Sanders lost. So this is massive election here. Sanders did 5% worse compared to 4.4% worse than he should have, according to Biden. So clearly, there's some shenaniganing, and this is South Carolina. This is where it gets really interesting. Warren and Gabbard lost double digits amounts of the vote. Warren lost 14.6% of her vote compared to what the exit polls indicated. Gabbard lost 31.3% of her vote compared to what the exit poll indicated. But everyone except for Biden and Klobuchar lost votes somehow. Magic, but magic doesn't exist, so cheating. Somebody somehow cheated the system and made everybody but Biden and Klobuchar lose votes. If you look here, Klobuchar gained 22.7% compared to how many votes she should have, whereas Biden only gained. They were trying to manufacture a Klobuchar surge and then change their mind. Yes? I don't know. They clearly wanted Klobuchar above 3% for whatever reason, and took 22.7% discrepancy to do it, but by golly, they did it. Up next is Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Sanders lost 12.4% of the votes he should have had. Warren. I don't like Warren that much ever since she backtracked on Medicare for All and started taking PAC money. But she should have gotten a fair result, and she didn't. She lost 14.7% the votes she should have received. And Biden gained 16.2% more votes than he should have received. And 29% Bloomberg that he should have received. So clearly, there's some shenanigans afoot. Some people would use a word that starts with F and ends like refinery. I don't swear, so I'm not going to say that. But I am going to. This is Michigan. Look at this. In Michigan, Biden gained 1.7% from that. So this result in Michigan, if this was the only result right here, doesn't indicate fraud per UN standards. But when we scroll down just a tiny bit to that 15.4%, that indicates fraud. Sanders lost 15.4 votes, which is proof of election fraud. The UN would consider all of these fraudulent elections. And California. We'll go over California. Holy crap, look, Buttigieg gained 37.6% of the vote he shouldn't have had in California. 22.6 gain to Bloomberg and 15.3% to Biden. So you can see the centrist candidates are getting inordinate boosts. The so-called moderates getting these crazy boosts from the exit poll, getting way more of the vote than they actually received. Whereas the two progressives, not that Warren's really a progressive, but the two who appear to be progressives, and Sanders is a real progressive, are losing crazy amounts of their votes. So Sanders should have won California according to the exit poll by 15%, but the computerized tallies cut his lead to 7.3%, which is over half. So clearly, there's some shenanigans. Come on again. Texas again. Okay, so here is a summary. Somebody was so kind to put in one graphic. You can read it if you'd like. I'm going to read it out loud. According to the UN, exit poll discrepancy, 4%. California, Bernie subtracts 11.11%, Biden gains 15.3%. Texas, Bernie subtracts 11.8%, Biden gains 1%. Maryland is 12.4 negative, Bernie 2.2. Biden. Bernie lost 12.4%. South Carolina, Bernie lost 6.6%. Biden gained 8.3%. Vermont, of all places, Bernie, there was still rigging, and Bernie lost 11% of the vote he should have received. Take out the 4% discrepancy allowed, then he lost at least 7% of the vote. And Biden gained 26.1%, which he didn't earn. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is what I want. All this election rigging clearly happening. And I wanted to talk strategy from my perspective. So strategy-wise, a lot of people are like, oh, we need a new party, and I agree. DNC clearly won't run a fair election. They argued successfully in court last time. They didn't have to run a fair election. So clearly they're not going to. But this is my argument, and I know some people don't like it. I know some people are would deem it unpopular, but I'm going to suggest it anyway. I propose that everybody who wants to Dem exit, do this only after your state's primary, so you can still vote for Bernie. He's still got a shot. Slim shot, but a shot. All of us, burners and independents and progressives and anyone, anti-establishment friends, anyone who's like in for Bernie or in for one of the other progressive or anti-establishment candidates, DNC robbed us of a fair election. We should all migrate to the Greens. Could you imagine if the Greens gained all of our numbers, and of course only vote for their candidates based on policy, but I'm talking about day-to-day party operations. If all of the Greens gained our numbers, our organizing skills, our fundraising prowess, our what's the word I'm looking for? Our grassroots passion, then overnight they would be on the road to becoming more viable than the DNC. And in 2 years, by the next midterms, they would be more viable than the DNC if we put in the work. So that is what I propose. Rather than starting a new party and fighting for ballot access, which is going to be several year project just for ballot access, and it's going to take a lot of money. Let's use the infrastructure available to us. I know people in the Green Party. They want people. They want organizers. They just need people. And their platform is as progressive as Bernie's. So if we're worried about progressive issues, the Green Party should become our home, in my opinion. I know that's kind of out of left field. Most people are talking about a new party, but I don't think a new party is the right answer. I think a better answer is to help the Greens, boost the Greens, make them viable. So that was all I had for you guys today. If you'd like to see future videos, please follow us on YouTube, Wolf of Light News, us at Wolf of Light News on Twitter. You can follow me, I'm at Socialist Phelan. Obviously, if you're Facebook friends, you already know my Facebook information. That's fb.me/Phelan.Acheson, same spelling as in the byline there. And you can also go to wolfoflightnews.com to get written updates and subscribe to our news platform. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I hope you all have